Hello and welcome to day 43 of my 365 day iPhone video challenge. The more observant of you will notice that I'm doing this in my car. This is the first car video I've ever done. I feel I'm achieving something in my life. The reason I am is I was coming back from a speaking event in Cheshire and it's getting dark, so I thought I better do this now. We were talking about cognitive distortions, faulty thinking patterns, and yesterday we covered overgeneralization, black and white thinking, and maximization and minimization, or magnification and minimization. Today I'm going to talk about three more. We're going to talk about labeling, personalizing, and blaming. Labeling is very easy to understand. It's when something goes wrong in our lives and we call ourselves, I am stupid, I am an idiot, I am ugly, I am a bad parent, and we label ourselves all the time, and it's an extreme form of generalizing about ourselves. You breathe all the time. You don't label yourself a breather. You eat. You don't label yourself an eater. So to label yourself stupid, no one is stupid all the time. You are human. You are fallible. Do not label yourself. We also can be guilty of labeling other people. So you might label a work colleague who gets the job that you don't get. A creep. You might, I've seen it in companies where female managers who act exactly the same as the men, but when they stand up for their rights, they're labeled aggressive. And that kind of labeling is a way of keeping the power balance of yourself to make yourself feel good. And what labels are you giving people, and are they healthy? And you need to look at that and think, actually, is that actually true? Because no one is just one thing. They're a human being made up of many, many different facets. The next one we're going to talk about is personalization. Personalization is when you take the blame for things that are beyond your control. So you might take the blame for how someone else is feeling. They're in a bad mood today. It must be my fault. No, it's not your fault. I mean, you might be partly the fault, but their actions are based on, ABC, activating trigger, behaviors, consequences. Their consequences, their emotional consequences are of their thoughts. So they cannot, you are not fully responsible for someone's behavior ever. If your child isn't performing so well at school, you could do some self-labeling. We go, I must be a bad parent. But again, you are probably not fully responsible for your child's report card. You are not responsible. I've seen extreme forms of personalization where someone gets sick and, gets ill, and they somehow feel it's their fault that the person's got ill. Well, no, people get ill. It's not your fault. So it's an extreme form of empathy, really, and it's a useful thing. Empathy is good, but taking the blame for things that you have no control over, you add a lot of pressure onto you and make you feel guilty. And that is not a useful emotion to feel all the time. The last one we're going to talk about is blaming. Now, blaming falls into two things. Blaming yourself is a form of personalization, when you blame yourself for things that go wrong that you haven't got control of. Then there is blaming of others, where you blame other people for your emotions. You make me so angry. This is your fault. You make me so annoyed. You make me this way. Blaming people for your emotions is ridiculous. You are in control of your emotions. And if they are to blame in some way because they have done something to upset you, your reaction is not their fault. Your reaction is your reaction, and you must learn to take control of it. The other thing that people do is they blame their past or their parents or their neurology rather than take some personal responsibility. Now, look, there are people who've had terrible childhoods, who've had very bad parents, who go on to live very exciting and valuable lives. There are people who've had very benign lives but like to blame their parents for certain ways they behave. And look, there may be some truth in that. But blaming other people takes away your personal responsibility. And I totally believe in personal responsibility, because without personal responsibility, you cannot take personal action to achieve your goals. See you tomorrow. Bye.